All right, my name is Brent Engel, and I'm a PE teacher at a small elementary school in near Wichita, Kansas. This is one of my kids' favorite games. It's called Outdoor Capture the Flag, and it's for middle school grades 6 to 8. Okay, so these are the four standards that this activity encompasses. They're from the Shape America 2013 national standards for K through 12 students, and obviously their physical education standards. Standard number one, the individual demonstrates competency in a variety of motor skills and movement patterns. Standard number two, the individual applies knowledge of concepts, principles, strategies, and tactics related to movement and performance. Standard number three, the individual demonstrates the knowledge and skills to achieve and maintain a health enhancing level of physical activity and fitness. And standard number four, the individual exhibits responsible personal and social behavior that respects self and others. Okay, and the name of the game is Outdoor Capture the Flag. It's a large group activity and it's a team based activity. Like I said earlier, it's primarily for grades 6 through 8. The group size can be 20 plus, so the whole class can participate. So student engagement should be high. For equipment, we have 6 total flags. We need 3 red flags and 3 blue flags. I like to use the flag football flags. So after students score, they can clip them around their waist and wear them like trophies. We also need cone markers to delineate the playing field, and we need red and blue pennies. Objectives of the game. Okay, this is an invasion type game. So your goal is to invade the opposing team's territory without being detected or tagged. Once you've invaded their territory, you want to retrieve the opposing team's flag and return it to your side. One player can grab one flag at a time. So one player cannot grab multiple flags. The first team to retrieve all of the opponent's flags first wins the game. If all the flags are not retrieved, but the time expires, then the team with the most opponent flags is deemed the winner. Okay, here's some instructions for the play. First, you're going to divide the teams into 2 equal groups. You're going to have a red team and a blue team. You're going to lineate the playing area in half with cones. Designate one team to one half a play. So red team will get a half, blue team will get a half. You're going to mark off a space for the jail. The jail does not need to be a big area. It just needs to be able to hold a couple students. That jail is going to be located near the midfield boundary line. The students are going to be allowed to hide their own flags. They need to place the flags in the center of the playing area near the back end. Their flags should be out in the open and clearly visible. The players are not allowed to guard the flag within 10 feet. So they're not allowed to puppy guard. They need to be at least 10 feet away from the flag. On the go whistle, the object for each team is to retrieve their opponent's flags. They're positioned in the other territory and bring them back to their own side without being tagged. Once a player is tagged, the flag must be returned to its original starting position, and the person who was tagged must go to jail. The tagger must escort the tagged person to the jail area. So if I tag an opponent, I have to take them to the jail area and release them to the jailer. The jailer is usually the teacher. So once in jail, the jailer or the teacher will start a 2-minute timer. Students will be able to exit the jail at the sound of the timer. If a flag is scored, the person who scored the flag may place the flag around their belt and wear it as a trophy for the remainder of the match. The game, again, is over when all the opponent's flags have been scored or when the 15-minute timer is up. Okay, this is a Google Earth image of my school, and this back area is part of the recess area and just open field that we have. We also have a small baseball field over here. So I've mapped out this area in green where they can play. I usually have a north team and a south team, so I'll put either red or blue on each side. I'll mark out with cones the center playing area. You can see right here. And then I have a small area over here that I designate to be the jail. So once I determine who the teams are, we'll send one of the teams to the north, one of the teams to the south. They have to hide their flags near the center and towards the back, but they have to be visible. So 3 flags will be placed out here in the middle, 3 flags up here. They're not allowed to go into the parking areas. They're not allowed to go past the track. And this tree row is the north boundary. And there's another tree row down here to the south. It's the south boundary. So this whole area is fair play, and the cones are the midfield line. Okay, this is just a little gameplay that I mocked up that I can show you how to play. Here we have red and blue. So we'll start by saying player red sneaks onto the opposing team's territory. So they sneak undetected, but a blue notices. Blue goes over and tags red. So blue and red together are going to go to the jail. Blue will drop off red and return to play. The blue player will return to the field of play. Oh my gosh. And the red player will stay in the jail. He'll wait 2 minutes, and then he can enter the active field of play again. Let's say that player from the red team sneaks over, goes undetected, grabs the flag. He's going to attempt to make it back to his side without being tagged. But let's say again, blue player notices, tags him. The flag must be returned back to the initial starting area, and the blue and the red players will go to jail together. The blue player can go back to play. The red player will stay in jail for the remainder of the 2 minutes. Okay, let's say a blue player sneaks over, grabs the red flag, somehow makes it all the way back, scores. He can remain with that red flag. However, there should be 2 other flags that will need to be scored before the game is over. So he can put the flag around his waist, and they can go as a pair for the remainder of the match. These are just some quick rules that you can look at to make sure that you're comfortable with the rules and how they're played. There's 2 teams, red and blue, 3 flags per team. So each side will have 3 flags. Make sure to keep your flags on the ground, and they need to be out in open space, not tucked next to obstacles. If any flags are hidden incorrectly, the other team automatically gets that flag. The whole team hides the flag together. So at the beginning, before the go whistle, the team will go as one and hide the flags. I encourage you not to peek at the opposing team. If you do, there are no repercussions, but that's considered cheating, and we don't want any of that. No puppy guarding, so you're not allowed to guard within 10 feet of your flags. So 10 feet away, that's about 2 of your body lengths away. The flags do not reset, so the flag drops when the stealer gets tagged. So if once the stealer gets caught, the flag will need to be taken back to the original location. 1 whistle means the game has started. 2 whistles is a free-for-all, jailbreak, and no tagging. 3 whistles means the game is over and it's time to come inside. 2 whistles, the free-for-all rule is if the game is kind of moving slow and no one has scored, then I'll blow 2 whistles, and that means, again, it's a jailbreak. Everybody can leave the prison, and there's no tagging. It's the first person to rush and grab a flag and get back to their side. Typically, we'll do a jailbreak towards the end of a match. The boundary line. Sometimes it's hard to question. The cones are placed pretty far apart, so you don't know exactly where the line is. So I just encourage, if you're right on the line, we're going to say it's kind of like a safe zone. There's no tagging right at the boundary line. Again, if you tag an opponent, you have to escort them to jail before the timer starts. If you get tagged, you're going to spend 2 minutes in jail. The jailer or the teacher will start the timer. Each match will last 15 minutes. Okay, these are just some helpful tips and hints. So yeah, the rules, I encourage you to watch this video and go over the rules. If you have any questions, we'll go over to them quickly before playing. Um, the flags, we're not going to toss the flags, throw, or hand off the flag. So if you steal the flag, that's your flag until you get caught. Um, a player can only tag one person at a time. So again, if you tag somebody, you need to escort them to jail. If that means that you cannot tag 3 people and bring them all to jail. You want to use teamwork and different strategies. There will be we'll have probably 30 seconds before the match starts that you guys can go over some strategies together. One thing I would encourage you to do is to designate some players as defense and some as offense. Most kids like to play offense, but if you don't have anyone on defense, your flags are not going to last long. Another thing, when you're invading the opponent territory and trying to steal flags, I would always suggest at least going in pairs, if not larger groups, because usually there's at least 1 or 2 people guarding the flags. So if you go by yourself, it's very easy to get tagged, and then you're taken to jail and you're out of the game. If multiple teammates are in jail, all the remaining players should focus on defense. Well, that means that all of your offensive players have gotten tagged, or most of them, and they're in jail. Without all those offensive players able to score, you should try to rush back and stop the other team from scoring until your players get out of jail, because it's kind of like a power play in hockey. Also, be patient, plan your attack. Often the kids that score are the kids that kind of hang back and just sneakily make their way over. If you rush and run right up the middle as fast as you can, the defense is going to see you coming. I'm really excited to play this game with everybody. Again, it's one of my kids' favorite games. I bet it's probably the most requested game that we play. It's a lot of fun, and I know there's a lot of rules, but kids get the hang of it pretty quick. So thank you. I've enjoyed this project.